What's up guys, I'm back. We're going to be diving straight into the new 1.49 update and trying out its new physics model. The main point of the video is to see how the handling affects one of our favourite little moneymaker races. I haven't uploaded for a long time because I've been working on a side project. I'll explain later at the end of the video, or you can click the link in the description. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that the BOP has changed for probably most cars, usually to increase them, so we're going to have to drop the BOP points by a few, and the way I've done this in this car is just to change the ballast positioning by a few points. The Tokyo Expressway doesn't have a lot of corners, so I don't think it would be too badly affected by the handling change, but the main thing we're looking for is the reduced grip on the racing line in wet conditions. Does this have an effect on the changing conditions of this track? Well, as it turns out, the grip is slightly reduced overall, but it is actually a lot more noticeable when you go off the racing line. You no longer lose so much grip, you just go straight into the wall. You lose a little bit of time, but you can still save it most of the time. You still can't make moves around the outside of the corner like this RX-7 just lost a position there just because he was off the racing line. Especially in the first few laps. Once the track dries out a bit more, it gets a bit easier. And there I just ducked out of the position. I'm not going to go around the outside of that RX-7 there because he's just not going to have the grip, and you can see he does the same there. Moving on to the inside of the track, on that corner worked quite well for me because once I get to the apex I end up on the racing line and I kind of end up pushing him off the racing line. So if you do make moves, try and stick to the inside line, and you should be alright until the track starts to dry out, probably around like 4 or 5. Now if you want to see a full track guide, check out my other video that I did with this car. I've covered this already, so there's no point me going over the same things again, but for the specifics in the early tricky laps we can see the differences here. So we're skipping ahead right to the last lap, but you can see that my fastest lap so far is a 2:04.3, which is exactly the same time that I managed a year ago with the same car, same track. So it hasn't actually affected the speed that the car can go. I think this is down for one or two reasons. A, there's not many corners on this track compared to other tracks, so if the car is slower or more understeery, it's going to be less prevalent on a track like this than it is going to be at Spa, for example. The second reason is that because of the BOP change has bumped up the points for a lot of the cars, a lot of people have had to make their cars slower by reducing power or increasing weight. I didn't have to do that for this car, I just changed the ballast positioning and it then would fit in the under 600 pp category. Ooh, that was close. So if I were to notice anything, it would be maybe a little bit of understeer, but I can't say that I really noticed it that much, if at all really. So I don't think this track is going to change much in terms of how it's going to make you money. It's going to be pretty much exactly the same. Maybe you'll make less mistakes or more mistakes because of the grip level in the early few laps, but as far as I can tell, it hasn't made a huge difference. So until we find out the total race time at the end and compare that to the other video I did, then we'll be able to see if it's slower or faster over the course of a whole race. So once we cross the line here, we get a lovely nice big toe here, so I think this is going to be our new fastest lap, but you know, it is what it is. and crash into the back of him. But as you can see here, our total race time was 25 minutes and 11. That's a whole 8 seconds quicker than it was pre-update. So that leads me to believe that the cars are not in fact slower. At least this car isn't slower, but it's a case of the track being a bit more predictable on and off the racing line. In real life, the racing line when it's wet would be a lot more slippery, so drivers would typically drive off the racing line, like iRacing have done. Gran Turismo on the other hand, they have just reduced the level of grip when you're on the racing line in the wet. But this racetrack being sort of changeable conditions with a bit of a dry line to begin with, don't really notice that as much, and you know, driving on the wet line is maybe a little bit more figure-giveable than it was pre-update. At least that's how I feel. It was a little bit more predictable and easier to drive, therefore I made less mistakes, and I think that's where my lap time came from. 8 seconds over 12 laps, that's about what, 0.6 of a second per lap. So that's quite a difference. And before I end this video, the reason I've been away for so long, I've been working on a little side project. I've been making a video game. It's a fan-made Pokemon game, so if you like that kind of thing, click the link in the description. It'll take you to the Google Drive, you can download it. It's called Pokemon Black Coffee. It's got a different spin to some of the other games, and I think it's quite fun, so give it a go. And if you liked this video, found it informative, or thought a load of rubbish, let me know in the comments. I want to improve my videos, so if you can find some use out of it, let me know. Give me a like if you did like it. Give me a subscribe if you want to see more stuff from me. I don't know why you would, but I just enjoy playing this game, and I also enjoy making videos. So thanks again, and see you next time.